So how do you find the best running sandals? Well, I'm biased, so my answer is, of course, go to zeroshoes.com and just take a look at what we have. But the real answer to the question involves understanding the different styles of sandals and figuring out which one you would like to try. So the first style, based on the oldest design of mankind's favorite footwear, is the Huarache style, the thong style. So there's a piece that comes up between your toes, whether it has this toe post like in our Amori Venture, or just the lace or a piece of webbing, just comes up between your toes and then goes around your foot in some way and secures in some way. Now, some people will say, I don't like things in between my toes, and they just want to write that off. But don't be confused. Don't confuse these with flip-flops. See, the problem with a flip-flop is that you need to jam your foot into that thong and grip it with your toes to hold that on your foot. Feels really uncomfortable, really bad. Besides, flip-flops are made of horrible materials that break down and wear out, causing postural problems. But with the Huarache-style lacing, what holds this on your foot isn't the thong, it's everything that goes around the rest of your foot, around your ankle. So even people who have an aversion to having things between their toes have reported that when they put on this style of sandal, it's way more comfortable than they think. They often don't notice this at all. So that's the first style. The second style is the sport sandal style. So this is our Umara Z Trail sandal, and you can see nothing in between your toes, and we're using webbing instead of lace in this case, but you could have webbing on a Huarache style, a thong style sandal as well. Now don't confuse these, our Umara Z Trail for example, with a typical sport sandal, which is big, thick, stiff, and heavy. In fact, 3 pairs of our Z Trails weigh less than a pair of the sport sandals. So, now there's one other interesting thing that you can consider. Both of these are ready-to-wear products. You get them in the size that's right for you, and you put them on your feet and adjust the tension to get the right tension, and adjust your foot forward and backwards so that it's the right fit, and away you go. But there's another option. You can make your own. So we have do-it-yourself sandal making kits. You get a sole that's the foot shape basically in the size that's right for you, and laces. We have one of 20 different colors of laces. And then there's instructions for how to lace these up in dozens of different styles, from the thong style to a sport sandal style. So with a do-it-yourself kit, you kind of can get the best of both worlds. Plus you develop what I like to call the superpower of knowing how to make your own footwear, also known as the post-zombie apocalypse career change. Because if you're the only one who knows how to make shoes after the zombie apocalypse, you've got a brand new business. Now, our sandals, by the way, come in 2 different thicknesses, our do-it-yourself sandals. We have our 4mm Connect sandal, which is the closest thing you're going to get to barefoot. It feels like you've just replaced the sole of your foot with a little bit of tire tread. Or we have our 6mm contact sandal, a little bit more protection, a little bit more durable, a little less flexible. And that actually brings us to the other characteristics that you want to look for when looking for a good pair of running sandals. Lightness is one. So again, really, really light. In fact, crazy lightweight if you're going to use our do-it-yourself kit and end up with something, for example, that looks like this. Weighs next to nothing, couple of ounces. Barely know they're there. All you can tell is that you feel some protection from the ground. The second is flexibility, because you want your foot to be able to move naturally. Obviously, again, the do-it-yourself stuff couldn't be more flexible. If you actually look at the Tarahumara Huaraches, these things are kind of stiff as well. If you look at our Venture, this is actually made with the same rubber as our 6mm contact kit. So very, very, very flexible. Even our sport sandal is incredibly flexible. We make this with a 3-layer Feel-Lite sole that has the rubber on the bottom, our Feel True rubber, then trail foam, and then bare foam, and that combination gives you something really, really lightweight and really, really flexible. But the other thing you have to pay attention to is protection. So what are you running on? What are you running in? You want to have just the right amount of protection. You don't want to numb your feet completely. You don't want to not feel things. You have more nerve endings on the soles of your feet than anywhere but your fingertips and your lips. That is not an accident. You're supposed to feel things. That's what lets you balance. That's what makes you agile. That's what lets you adapt. That's what lets you, frankly, have fun, because it feels good when you are using your feet properly. So you want the right amount of protection. Now, if you're on the road, you can get by with something like our 4mm sole. If you're on an aggressive trail, something like the Feel-Lite sole on our Z Trail might be best for you. And if you're kind of in between, that 6mm sole we have on our contact kit or in our venture might be just right for you. So think about what you're going to be on, how much protection you want. I found something interesting. Many people will start with more protection and then discover that they actually can get by with less and less and less as they get used to having a more barefoot-like experience. So keep that in mind. Something else you want is durability. You don't want things that are going to wear out really quickly. Again, if you think about flip-flops, you're buying a new pair of flip-flops every season because they wear out. We designed the rubber in our Feel True rubber so that it's really, really durable. Our soles come with a 5,000-mile warranty. Now, that was inspired by the tire sandals from the Tarahumara. People used to ask us, how long are these going to last? And we would say, I don't know, people haven't worn them out. And so we came up with the idea of our 5,000-mile warranty. So the durability is something you really want to look into. There are a number of sandals, running sandals, that are made with what's called blown rubber or aerated rubber that's from Vibram that is thicker. It's often stiffer. It's sometimes heavier. Could be heavier, could be lighter, depends on that particular material. But once you blow air into something to either make it thicker or lighter, it's going to lose some of that durability because the air bubbles essentially pop or compress. Another thing you want to look into is versatility. What can you do in a pair of running sandals? Well, you don't have to run in them. You can walk, you can hike, you can stroll, you can paddleboard, you can get in a raft, you can head down river, you can do CrossFit, you can do yoga, you can do a whole lot of different things, but not in every kind of sandal. So I will confess that the thong-style sandals are not the best if you're going to be in a river, for example, if you're fly fishing or paddle boarding or something where you have currents that could move things. The sport sandal style holds on your foot more securely, gives you a little bit better lateral motion. So when you think about versatility, you also want to think about stiffness and actually protection as well. If you're going to be going from mountain trails to the beach, then you want something that'll handle both of those. If you're only hanging out on roads or sidewalks, then you can get by with, again, a little less protection, something a little thinner. Last but certainly not least, consider price. Now, price is a deceptive thing because it's not just the dollar value, it combines with all those other things. So, for example, our Umara Z-Trail sandal. It's a $79.99 suggested retail price, but these things last for a really long time. So compared to sandals that maybe you pay $10 for, but you're buying a new pair every season, if you have something that may last you for 4 or 5 years, even if it's more expensive, it's a better deal in the long run. So take a look at all of those options, put them all together, and that'll help you figure out which is the best running sandal for you. Enjoy, feel the freedom, feel the fun, and feel the world.